anything, you know? Nobody knew this was gonna happen.
I think we were just kind of hanging out at home.
Making plans for the weekend.
Yeah, we were trying to make plans to go on a little getaway for the weekend.
So it was just doing nothing.
Here.
Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Normal.
Looking for places and just chilling on our phones looking for something to get away and go do together.
Everyday life at that point.
Yeah.
With no care in the world, actually.
So I get up in the morning. I could see some kind of smoke out through there, but it was hard to see because all the trees. And I was a little nervous because of the wind warnings before, and I hadn't slept that night, so I was up like watching the trees and like kind of nervous, already on edge. So I checked CAL FIRE and I didn't see anything, so I go about my daily routine.
My brother, he lived 5 minutes up the road about on Oak Way, and he came down on foot with his dog, and he just thought it was an overcast day.
Woke up completely oblivious that there even was a fire. I just kind of got ready for work and dressed like it was any other day.
He said he could see the flames higher than the house, about 2 houses behind, so it was already coming for us.
Right when I go out to my car, like it was all smoky outside. And
I knew it was scarier looking and meaner looking than any other fire that'd been up there before.
You know, I've seen some beautiful sunrises and stuff. I was like, that's not normal.
we've had a lot of close calls, and they never amount to anything. So it almost kind of conditioned you to not worry as much as you probably should.
They always say have a list, but when you're in that moment, a list is not something I thought about.
Because I can't fit 8 chickens and a turkey and 2 geese and 2 rabbits and a tortoise that's in hibernation and 6 finches and a parrot and 2 dogs, and if I forgot anybody, they're dead, you know? I mean, like, and shove them all into a convertible. You're gonna take your SUV, which had a quarter of a tank of gas in it. And I'm like, oh my God, can I get off of this hill if there's traffic and I only have a quarter of a tank of gas?
It was like a whole makeup bag just full of random shit that I was just like, I'm gonna put these all in here because I need them for some reason. And I totally forgot that that's what I had done until a week later when I was finally like, oh yeah, I grabbed my makeup bag. Maybe putting makeup on will make me feel better. And then I opened it and I was like, why are there Reese's cups and CBD lotion samples? And one of those things was actually the shirt that I wore today. And it's a Halloween shirt that has no significance to me. I had just bought it the month prior.
Took a trip to Hawaii with 2 girlfriends in the end of October, and I don't buy dust collectors and clothes and stuff when I travel. I don't buy a lot because I'm done collecting things, but I bought 1 shirt. I packed it. It's a short sleeve Hawaii shirt. I packed it.
You know, we were like running, trying to get stuff because it was already, you could hear explosions. The sky was still dark orange at that point.
You can't stop and fight it. You gotta flee for your life.
I'm done. I'm leaving. I don't care what I leave behind. It's time to go. Just go.
We didn't know if we were gonna make it. I watched the house that I lived in for 9 years ablaze, like 300, 400 foot flames as I drove by. And I wasn't prepared for that. I got no phone call, no warning.
You couldn't call a friend and say, hey, what the hell's going on in Paradise? It was over, and you have been cut out to where it's like the 1500s as far as your ability to communicate with anyone. You're running out into the street and flagging down a car of somebody who's flying down a dirt road with everything they own tied to the roof of a car and saying, where's the fire? How close is this? And they're panicked. You know, some people know, some people don't. Some people are saying it's closer than it is. Some people are, you know, they're just fleeing on foot. They're riding bicycles.
Nobody was there. Nobody directed. There was no form of controlled chaos at all. It was just utter chaos.
The scariest part about the whole fire was just being alone. In the dark, no cell phone, by myself, trying to navigate. We literally went down the left side of the road where you're not supposed to go to get the hell out. Like, we had to do some lawless things. I seen cars going down the bike trail, you know, and I was like, go, you know, and there were people in the back of pickup trucks handfuls of people sitting in the back of pickup trucks, and the cops are waving them down, you know, and like nothing was making sense.
And there were 2 policemen, so I ran up to them and I said, "What about zone 4?" And they said, "We're Chico, we don't know your zones."
And you could even see some of the, you know, officers that were out there on the roads directing the traffic were getting scared, it looked like.
Not until we got onto Skyway did I actually realize how bad the situation was.
There was fire like across the street from my house.
I was like, oh shit, it's right there.
The fire is keeping pace with me. I look back and it's like the same distance it was a few minutes ago as we've been moving this whole time, because the fire is just, that's how fast it's moving.
A lot of people were getting out of their cars and running towards Chico, the Chico area. And a lot of people were just leaving their cars right in the middle of the road, just getting everyone else stuck.
And it was burning everywhere around us.
There's fire on the side of the road here and fire on the side of the road here.
That's when the reality of we could die really sets in.
Once we started moving, I felt a little better, but at one point I told myself I was probably gonna die because there was flames everywhere and we weren't moving.
But we are alive, and that was probably the most terrifying ride I've ever had in my life.
So we didn't even breathe for like 10 minutes. Boom, had to leave again.
Yeah, the first night we slept out in our cars and out was cold.
So that was that morning.
Had the swing set since I was like 2.
You see it in camera, and it's just not safe.
And the town of Paradise did not burn. It was incinerated.
Paradise was my hometown. I moved there when I was 6 years old, and it's just hard to believe that it's gone.
Yeah, I've basically been relocated my entire life. I've known for 16 years is like no more. Not only did I lose my home and everything I've owned for 35 years, but I lost my community and the town in which was like a family to me.
I lost my home, my vehicle, all my belongings, childhood photos, awards, and lost a part of myself when Paradise went away.
The scale of what this destruction is just it's unfathomable unless you get in your vehicle and you go drive around and try to comprehend just chimneys standing there, but no houses, just the chimneys in the forest, in the black skeleton forest.
Yeah, we got to take down all the trees. It's not going to look as beautiful as it did. All the beautiful spots along some of the flumes have been destroyed. The beauty of Paradise is no longer there right now. It's in the beauty of Paradise is now in the people.
This has been a lesson in patience.
It's not, I don't like having it end this way really, but I'm pretty much at peace with the fact that I had many, many years of real enjoyment out of it. Because we really lived in the present moment, so we really enjoyed everything we did. And so we got a lot out of this place, we really did. So compared to a lot of friends I have, not that it's more valid or anything, but I seem to be having a fairly easy time letting go of it. I really am. I mean, it's painful, but I can let go of it and realize something else is going to happen in my life.
It's been really hard. He is truly traumatized. He went from this little boy that was happy all the time to someone that is scared of an air compressor going off, to a rumble of a train track, major anger issues. His discipline went out the window.
It's been the hardest thing. It's been really hard, especially for students who have lost a lot and school is different than they've ever had it be in their life, and we're just trying to provide something normal, but we ourselves are overworked and tired, and we're just doing it together, so making the best of it.
It's really hard. I missed a month of work just trying to keep him close.
A neighbor of ours had died that lived across the street from us from the mobile home park. Gordy had passed away, and so that was sad that and it was so close to home. So close to home.
I feel bad for the people that have their houses. I mean, living there now, ugh.
Yeah. I think there are just so many emotions and frustration with feeling like no one knows what to do in the situation when something like this happens, but at the same time feeling like places want to give you help and support you, and then other places are kind of like, well, you didn't lose your house, so it's okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, our home's there, but there's a lot of things that we still need to replace and fix, or go purchase new things, but we've just used a bunch of our expenses elsewhere with being displaced. So I think that was just a frustrating aspect and a realization for us of okay, we're grateful that we've had the support that we had while we were displaced, but now we're home and we still need support.
I've been hearing there's benzene or some sort of chemical in the water now, and so that it could be 5 to 10 years before that clears up, and I don't have 5 to 10 years to wait around and wait for a place to get back to normal to where we can rebuild. But I want to, because that was home. I guess it's me holding on to that old life, I guess. If I can, I want to go back. I don't know that I will rebuild the same property, but at least it would be home. But even after it's rebuilt, it won't be the same. I don't know. Maybe I'm in denial. But yeah.
I miss my group, my community, the people around us. We miss our home sweet home.
I try to keep thinking to myself, we're still a lot more fortunate than other people with all the support and people, resources that we've been able to get, because I still feel it for people that are sleeping in this cold and wet weather out in tents and stuff. We're a lot more lucky, and I gotta keep reminding myself of that, because there's good and bad days, but it could be a lot worse. We're just lucky to have gotten out and got all our animals out and everything too. So.
And it's not going to be the backwoods town of Paradise that we knew and loved?
It's still there, but it doesn't look the same. All the trees are obviously burnt to shit, and you could see everything around you. It was like a little cove before, like no one could see you because you were just surrounded by trees. But now it's all gone, so I really miss that.
It's pretty bizarre looking out here. I gotta admit, it's. So we're rummaging through things and salvaging some pieces of artwork and whatnot. I'm not a huge sentimentalist, there's certain things that hurt losing, but for the most part, I'm able to let go of most stuff. There's a lot of stuff. I had too much stuff in my life, like most of us do, probably.
in Butte County closed down right after the fire until December 3rd. You know, we missed like 6 weeks of real academics while we were not in school for 3 weeks. And then the first couple of weeks when we came back, we were just like doing some social, emotional healing. That's about 6 to 9 weeks where we actually didn't have the space, or like even the mental ability, students and teachers just weren't there to be able to teach and learn. So now we are, and we're moving forward, but that's a whole lot of time in the school year that's gone. We did a lot of fluffy stuff, and we're still doing lots of fluffy stuff. We're trying to provide as much emotional support and academic support for kids, but we're still like, it's time to get the bar back up there. It's time to, you know, get back to things. And look at these kids. They can test.
I think so.
They're doing fine.
There's testing in PE, isn't there?
That's right.
Yeah, they can do it.
Yeah. You know, I think that the more normalcy we can provide for kids at school, the better for them.
So I don't know. One of my nephews, I think I'm looking at a fifth wheel, so next time I have to evacuate, I'm taking everything with me.
My nephew loaned us a home, and so we have a place to stay right now. It's temporary.
I don't know. It seems everybody else has gone out of state. And I have an offer to go stay in Reno and finish school there with family out there, so I might look into that. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of thrown into the, I really don't know.
We are strong. We will come back.
The two of us are going to work on buying a house probably in Gallia. I would take Paradise in a heartbeat, even with it all burned down. I would still, if there was one there, I would take it. Because Paradise will build again, and it will be better than before. It was great before, so it's sad when you look at the destruction, because it was such a pretty place. I mean, it's supposed to be a sanctuary. Now it's just nothing. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick up pieces, start over again. But it will.
Heck, my mom's more optimistic than I am, and she's 80 years old and she's restarted from scratch. So if she can do it, I can do it.
As traumatic as it's all been, we're in a good situation now. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not like what we would choose for ourselves, but we have a roof over our head. We have food in our bellies. We've got family that all the family is safe, despite almost everyone in my family losing their homes. And you know, I'm not paying rent or anything, which is good. No bills. My job, which burned down, fortunately reopened a while after. So I'm working again. So, you know, and if you got a roof over your head and food in your belly and a job for income and at least some sort of transportation, you can rebuild from that. Like, you know, there's always hope.
You know, we were all kind of in trauma brain, so it was hard to actually make really good decisions. So, and we knew that as we were making a lot of decisions very quickly, wondering if we were actually making the right decision or not. I will have to say that we did not expect this site and the plans and the work and the design that we were doing to turn out so good. Actually, we thought it was going to be too crowded, or the kids would be overlapping each other. And it's actually turned out to be a beautiful design. Like I said, nobody wants to leave, and everybody just feels like home here. I feel really lucky that Achieve is able to anchor in Chico and rebuild and heal actually outside of the fire affected area. The rolling blackouts that the schools that are relocated in Paradise have had to deal with this last year have been really tough. And there's something about still being in the fire affected area where things just don't look right and you're still out of sorts that I think has been harder for people to recover. And us being able to open up school this year in an actual really beautiful school facility where everything just feels really normal and we create this nice normal routine, I think that's had a lot to do with the healing of our students and our staff. I didn't expect that at this time this year that people would actually feel start to feel recovered and have this sense of resilience and thinking about the future, what the next 5 years look like. I didn't think that we'd be in this place that fast, and I think it's because we're not actually in the fire affected area. This year we celebrated Christmas, and it wasn't like it didn't take a miracle to put on the Christmas program. I mean, the Christmas joy was back and everybody realized it. All of our traditions that we've always done, we just did, and they just happened naturally. And so our kind of culture of joy and celebration is back in this just wonderful way. And so our people are feeling super thankful and grateful, including myself. I'm thankful and grateful.